was looking on chess.com and I noticed that most people are actually less than 800. And I thought maybe I would make a video to help you guys. So we're going to play a game as white, and we're going to try to make it really, really simple. Something that I kind of wish I would have had when I was a little kid learning chess. So what I think I'm going to do is play a very, very simple opening, and every time my opponent moves, we're going to ask ourselves, does that move scary? Can that move hurt us? And if not, we'll keep playing our opening and we'll go from there. So what I think I want to teach you is one of the simple openings. We're not going to try to memorize 5 or 6 moves, just the basic moves. But our goal is to get these 2 pawns in the center here. We want to get our knights here. We want to get our bishops out somewhere. And we want to take our king over here and hide it in the corner, probably on this side. Again, we're not going to worry about every move being perfect, just good solid moves. And after we move, we're going to wait for our opponent and ask ourselves, is that move scary? Well, obviously not. So the next move here, we're simply going to get our horsey out right there. So our horsey is already attacking something. Now our opponent defended the pawn, which is good because we're not in this video really that worried about any cool moves or we attack in the first 3 or 4 moves. We're going to play really simple. So we're going to get our other horsey out. Our other horsey's a little sad. He hasn't gotten to play yet. So we're going to put him right here. Gonna wait for our opponent to move, and there we go. We actually got the opening I was hoping, the 4 knights scotch. And I was hoping for this opening because it's a really good one just to practice your basic. Now here is the one move you have to remember, okay? This is the one tricky move. If you get to this position with the 4 horses out and these 2 pawns, which will happen a lot, just take this pawn. We're going to put it all the way here. Now, this move might confuse you because you think, wait, can't he just attack it? But we have to see what happens. If we put this pawn, see here, he might take it. Then we can take it. Then this horsey takes our horsey. And then our queen, don't forget about the queen, been hiding there the whole time, actually takes it. And this is totally fine. In fact, this is really good for us. We like our queen out there. Okay, well they didn't let us do it anyways because I didn't take our pawn, but I can explain more later. But basically the queen here is typically bad. But if the queen was here because this knight took, well the main reason the queen is bad here is actually that one bad horsey right there. And if this bad horsey's gone, if the bad horsey's gone because it went here and we took and traded everything, then it's actually okay. Our queen is not too bad there. We have to be a little careful, but it's not too bad. But our opponent went here instead. Which you might think now you're confused and you get a little stressed because you're like, well, there's a lot of things I can do. But don't be scared of this. This is not scary. We already talked about this. If they go here, we go here. They go here, we go here. So all we have to do is keep getting pieces out. And this is where I don't want you to stress. I don't want you to be too worried. Just ask yourself, is this okay? And it is. So we can get this bishop out or we can get this bishop out. It doesn't matter too much right now at this level, but let's get this bishop out. And we just want to put it on a good square. A lot of people like hitting the horsey here. I think this is also simple. This might be the best move, but I don't want you to memorize all this stuff. Just get your bishop out to a good square where it looks pretty safe. And our opponent does the same thing. Our bishop, though, looks a little better than their bishop. Their bishop looks a little stupid. Their bishop looks stuck, like it does not really do anything right now. But our bishop's attacking this pawn here. But that's okay. There's no threat. This move is not scary. Every move. Is that move scary? Nope. So we are just going to castle our king. You can get your last bishop out first, but we're going to make it even simpler and just castle. Our opponent's actually being, well, oops. I was going to say our opponent's being smart because they're not taking this pawn, which is actually bad. But now our opponent moved that bishop twice. They should have just put the bishop there in the first place. So now we have to ask ourselves, is this move scary? Well, let's see what it does. This move attacks our horsey. If this bishop attacks our horsey, and we take here, uh-oh, boom, boom. And that's kind of sad because we can't help this pawn. This pawn can't do this. If the bishop takes our horsey, and the queen takes the horsey, the pawn is in trouble. So there are a few ways to do this. Attacking the bishop does not help. A lot of people, I think it helps. They think, oh, I have an idea. I will attack the bishop. But that was the whole idea. After that trade, our pawn is gone. And even if we take with our pawn, we still can't defend our pawn, and we wouldn't want to anyway because we would lose our queen. The easiest thing to do here would be just to take care of the pawn ourselves. We can either push it or take. Again, I don't want you to be too stressed about which one is the best move. It doesn't matter too much right now, but since our king is safe and their king is not safe, if you don't know what to do, just take the pawn. I'm not saying it is the best move. It might be a bad move. Actually, it might be a really bad move. But right now, let's not worry about it. Let's take the pawn and open things up. And our opponent did not take with the right piece. Taking with the knight could have been more scary, but in this case, it's not scary. The queens see each other. We could take the queen, but our queen is defended, so we really don't have to do that. So we can either get our last bishop in the game, or we can attack the bishop. Let's get our last bishop in the game because he's not playing right now. We want all of our pieces to play. Our opponent just randomly moves their bishop back. That can't be a good move. And now this is where chess gets a little tricky. We have a lot of things we can do. We can move a rook to the middle. We can move a queen. The thing that kind of frustrates me about this, though, makes me a little sad, is our queen doesn't have any good easy squares. So if we go here, this queen can just take us. That's fine because it's defended. But if we go here, he takes our horsey first, we're kind of in a little trouble. So let's just simply move our queen here. Now we can't forget, don't forget, this is still a problem. The back guy horsey took the pawn. When you see a move like this, it's easy to want to take back right away, or take back right away. But you have to just take a breath and say, well, is there something I don't see? Is there something really complicated here? Like, does my opponent have a plan? Like, if I take here, are they going to checkmate me or something? So if we take here, are there any scary threats? Let's see. This bishop can attack our queen, but it looks like we can move. This horse takes here. The bishop can attack our horse. You might also notice that our bishop is hanging. But then you might remember the bishop can just take the queen. So is there a trick here? If our bishop simply takes the queen, are there any tricks? Is there anything that we don't see? Can they check us? Doesn't really look like it. This knight can take our knight, but we can just move our queen, it looks like. So it doesn't look like anything tricky here. We can just take a free horse, or a free horsey, or just a whole queen. Okay, so I've taken a couple seconds to make sure nothing scary is going to happen, and I'm just going to take a queen. My opponent acts like all this is planned, and the bad horsey took the good horsey. Once again, ask yourself, is there any threats? Is this move scary? And it is, because our queen's hanging. If I simply take back, I know you're told not to double your pawns, but it's an entire horsey, so I think we should just take back. And nothing looks that scary to me. And our opponent simply moves a pawn. Okay, so one thing I think a lot of you could get better at is right now. A lot of scary stuff just happened. We took a lot of pieces, it was crazy, and we ended up winning a queen. And we think we're winning now. We'll play really fast. And that's kind of dangerous. We want to kind of make sure at the end of this, there's so many pieces now in different places. Let's just look at all of our pieces. So our rooks have still not moved. We want to get our rooks to the middle, but we never got a chance to because our opponent gave us a queen first. Our knight here is still defended, but this is actually pretty scary because our knight is in a little bit of trouble. It doesn't work right now, but it's a little scary. This bishop is fine, but notice it is not defended by anything except the queen. So it would be great to defend this bishop or move it to a defended square. And last and most importantly, our poor bishop has no defenders. It did its job. It took the other queen. So even if it dies now, it's okay. But we might as well save it. So the most obvious move to me would be just take a pawn. Or even you can run all the way away and say, haha, we won a queen. You're losing. But let's play the simple move. It seems like this is pretty safe. We are also attacking a pawn out of all that. Okay, they moved their bishop. That bishop has moved so many times. It's been pretty stupid. First it moved here. And then it pinned us. And then it moved back for no reason. And now it unpinned us. The only piece that was doing anything in this whole position was pinning our knight. and our opponent moved it for no reason. Okay, let's look at this pawn. It looks like we can just capture. We have all these pieces in. We can also just get our rooks in the game. If you want to play really, really, really safe, you can say, well, let's move our rooks. But you know what? At this point, the whole board is blowing up, and we have three pieces. Sorry, not that one. Three pieces that can take a pawn. Which one should we take it with? Well, the knight is defending it, so we should not lead with the queen. Probably this is a cool move because it forks two pieces, but again, we're up a queen. Don't make it too complicated. I'm going to play the bishop move because the bishop is the only piece that's kind of in danger. And then if our opponent takes, we will take with check. They choose to not even take back, which is probably why the knight was a better move because the knight forced the trade, but I'm not too worried about that. Let's just drop our bishop back to a defended square, and we say, okay, this is scary because the horsey can take it, but when we move it back, if the horsey takes it, it's still defended. Also, what else happens when our bishop moves? Well, look at that. It's a revealed check. Revealed check is when you move a piece out of the way and attack, so you might notice before you make this bishop move, it's also going to be a check. Well, you ask yourself, are there any better bishop moves then? I mean, if you think for a second, do you see a bishop move that's even better than this? The bishop can also go here, which normally wouldn't work, but in this case, it's a revealed check. Now, before you do this move, you should always ask yourself, once you reveal a check, does the opponent have any scary moves that can block your check? Well, the bishop could go here and block our check. The knight could go here and block our check. None of those moves are scary. A scary move would be if a rook could move here and block our check. Then it wouldn't work. But nothing scary can happen, so we're just going to take this. And then they block with the bishop, but that bishop is not defended, so we will take that. And now we will play quickly because the game is almost over. Blocks with the knight is not defended. Wow, this is a bad ending for our opponent. Take this. We're going to take our rook in the corner. They block with the bishop. Let's take a rook. So now this game has changed. We're no longer playing a game called chess. We're playing a game called Don't Stalemate Your Opponent. You're up so many pieces, a rook, a bishop, a knight, and a queen. All you have to do is make sure every time you move, your opponent has a move. Also, as long as they have pawns on the board that can go forward, they're going to have a move. So you're not that worried about stalemate. One more thing, if you don't want to get super embarrassed, don't get your king back rank checkmate. So the only way you could lose this would be somehow to move both your rooks off the back and let their rook somehow come in and checkmate you. That would be really, really embarrassing. You don't want to do that, so just be careful. Right now, both rooks are here with my king. It's pretty safe. Let's just go and not stalemate. Okay, I will go here. It's a check. King has to go here. I can go here, and it's a check. I can go here, and it's a check. Again, the game is called Do Not Stalemate the Opponent King. A better move probably would have been the rook here, but it really doesn't matter. The rook here, guaranteed we could trade rooks, but it really, really, really doesn't matter. I want to teach you guys how to be simple. It's not that complicated. Let's just bring a rook here, hopefully trade rooks. And if we do, nope. Well, we can trade rooks anyway. Our opponent cannot stop us. We're going to bring our second rook. We're going to win the bishop or checkmate our opponent somehow. Oh, he took one of our pieces. Well, that's sad. But we can check and take. Oh, sorry. I should have gone that fast. Basically, this guarantees the bishop to come off the board, right? We're trying to get rid of all the pieces. Our opponent runs it there, and now it's checkmate in two moves. The easiest move is the first, not let the king take any steps forward, and then our bishop's hanging, but boom, checkmate. I hope that was really helpful. I'm also going to play a game with black, because sometimes with black things are scarier because your opponent has more moves that are attacking things. We are going to play the most boring opening ever. All we're going to do is make sure we don't hang any pieces at the beginning of the game. That move was scary. It's going to go here. It would be kind of funny if we play the same opening we just now played before. This is the same one, except our opponent went here. Now, when you see this move, I want you to think, that's weird. Their bishop shouldn't go there, because it's kind of in the way. Like, now this pawn can't go forward. It does defend that pawn, but it was already defended. Now this pawn's stuck. If this pawn can't go forward, this bishop can't go out. But you know what? You shouldn't just go, oh, I'm going to go here and attack the bishop because it's on a bad square. Because if you go here with your horsey and try to hit the bad bishop, well, the bad bishop goes here. The next move, they go here. And you have to move your horsey back. And basically, you just wasted moves and let their bishop go to a better place. So when your opponent makes a really weird move like this, don't go crazy. Just say, well, that was weird. But if you don't see exactly what to do about it, just know they wasted time. They're going to lose time later because of that, but you can try to keep playing normally. Let's get another pawn out here. If we push this pawn here, we're going to block our bishop in, so we're going to try to do this as simple as possible. Let's get our bishop out before we push our pawn. I don't care right now which way we go to. Let's go right here. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Well, we can see we can immediately check their king. But the knight takes, we take back, and nothing really happens. Their king can just now run away. We have nothing else after that. So if your opponent for some reason goes here because they're dumb, or because maybe they have a mouse slip, once again, you know they're going to waste time. They're going to have to spend time bringing their rook, getting their king back, wasting 2 or 3 moves. So let's just keep playing normally. We can castle, or we can get a second pawn, probably the safer move, since our opponent's not attacking anything. We just move our second pawn out. And our opponent continues to make really weird moves. We can castle, or we can get our last bishop out. Let's just castle. Oh, maybe that's the plan the whole time. Okay. Now, I promised you that we were going to try to play really, really, really simple chess. I kind of want to try going here and here and taking out that bishop, but you know, that bishop isn't that good right now. It's kind of a little stuck. It's not doing anything that cool, so let's just get our last piece out, and then we'll worry about attacking. We don't have that many options. We can go here. That's fine. We can go here. That defends that square in case our horsey goes there. That's fine, too. We can't go here because the pawn. And we can go here. I think they're all fine. Let's just go here. And our opponent just moves the king back to where it started, which is a really, really, really bad move. If anything, they should push this pawn, keep the king here, try to get both rooks doubled and actually attack something. This just is going to block everything up. But my last move, the bishop here, or the bishop here, I really don't want you to be sad and have bad dreams about which one is which. I don't want you to be like, oh, I made a mistake. I did something dumb because I put my bishop here or here. At this level, and even at level 1,000 points higher, you're not winning games or losing games based on bishop here, here, unless it's just a blunder and a pawn can take it or something. But don't worry too much about this. Either one's probably fine. And now I think we have an even more difficult move. And I think this might be the hardest thing you have to do when you're a beginner. What do we do next? We got our pieces out like we were supposed to. There's nothing scary. Our opponent isn't doing anything scary. They're just putting all their pieces back here. You probably feel like we're winning. And I think we are winning because our opponent played so weird. But what do we do now? Well, last time all we did was got our king to a square so we could bring our rooks to the center. And then our opponent immediately lost the game. So let's try that again. Let's just bring our king up. One square. You can do either one. This is just simple because it makes that go there. We can put our bishop here. Our opponent can block, or block, or block, or maybe blunder their queen in one move. But let's not worry about that. Let's not hope our opponent blunders. Let's just keep bringing rooks to the center. And if nothing else, we're going to bring our other rook to the center. Let's bring another rook to the center. And now I think we should play one of our first aggressive moves. We got all of our pieces out. We got them to squares we like pretty well. We have to ask ourselves, how can we make our pieces go forward now? What moves do we have that go forward? Well, let's just look at them. This might be the hardest decision we make the whole entire game. So it's okay if it's confusing. We're just going to look at what we have. This bishop could go here. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't do anything, I don't think. Doesn't look bad. It could go here. That looks bad. It could go here. Not doing a lot, though. Are we going to really move our bishop here and then here just to take a horsey? Maybe. It could go here. Bad. It could go here. It looks bad, though the king comes out, but doesn't look like that would work at first. We'll have to look at that maybe if we can't find anything else. Our horsey can go here. And our horsey can go here. Both moves look fine. Neither one looks like they can take it, so it looks like pretty smart moves. Our bishop can go here. Bad. Here. Bad. Take this pawn. Looks bad. Here. Bad. Here, attack the queen. Like I already said, they can block it or block it or block it. So this is not a bad move. I do not hate that move at all. Now, like I said, we're going to take a little time here because this is the part that's really confusing for lots of you. I think a lot of people have trouble with this part of the game. So we've already looked at these pieces. We have some moves that are okay. The horsey here, bishop here, bishop here. This bishop can't do a lot. Let's look at what this horsey can do. This horsey could go here. That doesn't look very good. This horsey could go here. Oh, well, that attacks our horsey. Well, let's see. If we go here. Oh, he can't take us. So it's a pretty safe square. What else is the horsey doing here? Well, the horsey also attacks that pawn. Oh, well, that pawn is attacked by this bishop. So wait a second. Do we have a plan? Horsey here. Attack this pawn. Attack this pawn. But he has to do something to save his rook. But if he saves his rook, then this pawn can be taken with either of these pieces. Now, one pawn probably isn't going to win you the game, but that's not just any pawn. That's the pawn being protected by his king. And if you can open up his stupid king that moved down and back up, you may be pretty happy. So I think even though it took a while, we found a really, really good move. Now, is this the best move? It might be. It might not be. But I think this is a very good move. You can find, if you look at all your options, you can say, hey, this is a pretty good move. Let's do it. Well, our opponent decided the threat was so strong, they had to give up their queen. Now, I took that back really quickly. I probably shouldn't have. I should have thought first. But now the whole game has changed. We're up a queen. So we want to trade pieces, right? So this is a pretty easy move. You shouldn't always take it that quickly. Obviously, be careful. I'm already looking here and saying, ooh, I should be careful. If he goes boom, 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 there's a threat. Don't ever forget to check for threats. When I took this piece here, I noticed, oh, that could be scary. It's not scary yet, but it could be scary. Now, we took a long time early looking at all of our moves, and we decided this was a pretty good move. It still looks like a pretty good move to me. It looks like we can go here, attack stuff. Our knight can't be attacked at least for a couple of turns. You have to move something first. I don't even know where. Here, and then attack it. So it looks like a pretty good square. Let's go for it. And this is a fork. Now, he moved his rook, so it's not a fork. But it's still a check and another pawn. So, looks safe. Looks safe. Let's do it. All right. The king went that way. We could take this pawn, but I want to show you guys a little pattern, okay? Are you ready for a little pattern? A little pattern time with Cheffrey. You take this pawn. Your bishop and knight will be standing side by side. It might be fine. It might not be fine. But here's the pattern. You should be scared of your bishop and knight standing side by side when a rook can go here. If these pieces are side by side, they cannot move to help each other. The bishop cannot get to a dark square to defend the knight, and the knight cannot possibly move to defend that dark square. So just because it's a good pattern to learn, I think you should not go here. Let's go somewhere safer. Let's say our knight's in a little trouble. Our bishop can also come in here and attack this knight. We want to trade because we're winning. And we can also get our queen involved to here. So let's look at those three moves. We can move our horsey back. Well, we shouldn't move back unless we feel like we have to. We can put our bishop forward and try to trade. This is a totally good move. Don't worry too much about if we do that move. But also, our queen can go right here. Quickly ask yourself, is this move scary? Does my opponent have anything he can do that's scary if our queen goes here? That does look a little scary, so we can just take a second though and think, okay, if they go there, we can go, oops, not there, that would be bad. We can go here. Is there anything else that's scary? They can go here. Well, the rook would be hanging, so I think this move is probably a great move. It's pretty safe, and he doesn't even do anything about it. The whole point of moving the queen here was wherever we move our knight, it's going to be a revealed check. It doesn't win the game right away, unfortunately, because we don't have any killer revealed checks that win everything, but we can back up to here. make his king come to the center. He blocked. Oh, I didn't even see that. Look, I even make mistakes sometimes. This horsey defends that bishop, so I cannot checkmate him right away. But that's okay. Like, if you're winning like this and you're putting your pieces on squares where they're safe, they can retreat, you know you're okay. So I could go here and it would be okay. But again, we're winning, so let's trade more pieces. And now this is kind of tricky, okay? All we want to do is get our rooks into the game. So this is a move I would say is a little higher than this level, but it's good when to practice. Once again, I'm not going to do this move. I don't want any weird tricks with the rooks coming in, attacking. The easiest move here, once you're a little higher level, is this move. The rook could have gone there and attacked my queen, but it didn't. It went here for no reason, defended a pawn. But this is exactly what we want. Watch this. Boom. And now the rooks are aiming at the king, and they're doing our job for us and opening up their king. And now, to check, the king has to move for the 1000th time this game. The king runs to the corner. Let's just, for fun, not be too complicated and just bring another rook. This threatens checkmate. Our opponent blocks checkmate for one move. Let's take this. Now, you might be tempted here to try to find a really cool move where you sacrifice your rook, and he takes, and you take, and you take. But unfortunately, with the rook and the horsey helping, you would just lose a lot of pieces. Let's not do that. So instead of doing anything crazy, let's just do a really, you're going to laugh, and that's okay. This is a very silly move, but we are going to move a pawn here. You know why? I don't think I'm going to blunder back rank checkmate, but now my king has a square to get out to. That seems like a really weird, dumb move right now. You might be thinking that was kind of stupid. I should have done something cooler. But now, you know what? We always have a safe place where we don't possibly lose the game. Now we can start the fun. We'll put this rookie here, and let's see where that horsey goes. He should try to defend his horsey. He does. He does defend his horsey. Let's just simply attack that horsey one more time. That horsey really can't move because if the horsey ever moves, that's checkmate. So we can just take. The opponent pushes a pawn here, but unfortunately it's checkmate no matter what with the queen. Now I want to use the computer and show you one thing that's kind of cool. Right here, when our opponent decides to move their king forward for no reason, the best move is actually this move here, which I would say a lot of beginners probably saw because beginners really like to try to go for this fork here. Beginners really like going for that fork here. This is actually a really good move here. But instead, I play a really easy move. Once again, this is still a good move, going for this pawn. Once again, the computer says this is a really good move, going for the pawn. And really, until we actually played it for ourselves, almost every single move from 1, 2, 3, what's the next number? 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 moves. For 6 moves, this was a great move about. And then on the 7th move, we actually played it. But you know what else is crazy? Even though we didn't play that move and we played the boring moves that just got all of our pieces into the game, we are still winning by over 3. So we are totally crushing this game, even without playing this really cool best move of this. And you might look at this and say, well, why would you just play the best move? Well, you know what? You don't need to. We just got all of our pieces in the center. And then at this moment, we actually stopped and we thought more. Our opponent did nothing scary. They wasted a lot of time with jumping horses and kings around. And then we thought, hey, this move wins the game right away. And there's really no good way for them to defend against it. And even after that, I'm pretty sure I didn't play like the best move the rest of the game. But checking with the computer, there was never a moment where we even came close. Even came close to losing. We were always completely winning. So when we were playing these attacking moves, we were just looking for easy moves like rook over. I could have tried to win something right away, but rook over is easy. And then take the bishop, and then defend the king, and then bring the other rook in, and then attack the knight. And all these moves are not crazy moves where I'm trying to do all this crazy calculation, just simple moves. And so even though I probably didn't play the best computer move, I was never actually losing. Really the whole game, but especially since we found this move. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this really helps you if you're like a beginner to just make chess a little simpler, and I'll do more videos like this if you want me to. So just let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Just tell me down in the comments. Thanks.